Action!
All right, this is Shane Benedict here from Kayak Session Magazine covering the 26th annual Green River Narrows race. And I'm here with Brian Miller. How many times have you raced this river?
Too many to remember.
Too many to remember. And now his son is racing this river. And anyway, Brian, the significant thing about Brian, besides his prowess as a C1 paddler, is that on Saturday he's going to be commentating on the race, and he's got a specific set of skills. Now, what we want to do is talk about the contenders on Saturday. And obviously there's the men's class and the women's class, and the juniors class is kind of how we've sort of generated that, but there are some specific stories that I think are really important.
Absolutely.
And I think we should start with probably the biggest thing, because the theme is the Fountain of Youth is the junior class. And when I walk out on the Rocket Gorilla, all I see are kids. What are you seeing as far as the junior class?
I mean, the first question is, what are these parents feeding these kids? Because every single junior, and there's probably 20 of them, is pushing like the 420 barrier.
Right.
And the question, Shane, is, how are they going to rank in the junior class, but do they have enough to contend for the men's class?
There is no doubt they have the possibility to contend with the men's class, because Isaac Hall has already done that. He's already placed himself well inside the top 10. Inside, I think the top 5. I'm not sure about that.
Top 4 last year.
That's right, top 4 last year.
Right.
So this is why we bring this man to the table.
That's right.
And so I'm predicting that there will be multiple juniors inside the top 10 this year.
Right.
Do you think the same thing?
I think that to push for a men's podium, you're going to have to break 4:15. I think there's going to be juniors going under 4:20, but I don't know if they need pushing inside of 4:15.
Right.
The average age of a green race winner is about 27, and most of these guys don't even shave yet. So,
right,
regardless of resources and skill, it takes maturation to develop the mindset to actually put it together. And I think like Isaac Hall is a great case in point.
Right.
He had everything going for him. He just couldn't quite keep it together to make that happen. So
all right, but I'm going to call you on this, because I'm gonna mess up his last name, but Kalyn Freemanson,
absolutely,
is a badass.
Absolutely.
That guy's fast.
Absolutely.
As fuck.
Absolutely. So Kalyn is the reigning slalom extreme world champion.
What?
Has the skill sets, but does he have the mindset, Shane? You've been pounding the green long enough. You've been my coach and mentor. It comes down really to not the skills and the physical ability, but can you keep it together when it matters the most? And the fact of the matter is the juniors are still, despite talent and resources and athleticism, they haven't had the number of laps and experience that a true contender has had.
I love it. All right. Other rising juniors. I feel like we've got Sam Sharp. What's your knowledge? You got anything on Sam Sharp?
I mean, Sam Sharp is probably a liquid logic stinger faster than anyone that I have seen. Hey, dude, he's fast.
He's super fast.
And your eyes don't lie to you.
Nope.
But he's green. And can he keep it together?
Also competing though on the World Cup level as far as extreme slalom, so he's in that same category.
He's up there, and he was 3rd in the junior class last year. I believe that we have many contenders for the junior class. I think Kalyn is like the dark horse. It's his first race.
He ain't a dark horse. He's fast as hell.
I mean, talk about like too big to fail. He should win the junior class hands down, but he's not, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, bring it.
It's his first green race.
Okay, but I will tell you something different in that when I've been watching a lot of people race the green, and the big division for me, and I sit at Gorilla all the time, and when Dane Jackson comes off pencil sharpening and he's headed for the notch, he takes 5 gigantic strokes.
Wow.
Boom, boom, boom. You know how many other people I've seen do that?
2. Wow.
And guess who one of them is?
Got to be Kalyn.
Kalyn.
Shane Benedict on the count stroke, people. Dedication.
Anyway, all right. Who are other juniors? We got Sam Sharp. We got Ben Atherton.
Second last year.
Yep. Oh, boom. And who else is in that top?
Cash and Porter Shirley, my hometown favorite.
Boom,
so
Asheville.
if you want to get straight to it, I have my podium.
There's top 4.
I'm ready to go.
Now, what do we got? Let's see. What's the next story? How many juniors are we going to get in the top 10?
Oh, wow. Mind blown. 3.
You got 3?
3.
All right. You got 3. I'm going to say 2, but I believe it. I believe it.
Are we dropping names or are we saving it for game day?
We'll let it ride.
Let it ride.
All right. Moving on.
on.
Here's the big other story. Besides the fact that we're going to have, I think, the biggest junior class, we already have the biggest women's class.
Hail to the women.
Boom. And also, the skill level is super high. And that's a story in itself. But the big story in the women is obviously Adrian and Sage.
Absolutely. So the women's class goes from 6 athletes in 2020 to 12 athletes in 2021.
We're 14.
And if they don't cap registration, it'll go to 18.
It's capped.
And so, what's appreciated about the women's class outside the podium is the camaraderie.
That's right.
They love each other and they build on that. And I would be remiss if I didn't get a shout out, Live Like Maria. But let's fast forward to the podium. Adrian is the best ever at the green race, regardless of gender. Has transcended lines to put the men on notice. But can she keep it going? And the answer is, I believe it's Sage's year to conquer the podium and to take Adrian's place. What are your thoughts, Shane?
I am never, ever going to bet against Adrian.
Respect.
And,
Respect.
And Adrian has just come off of COVID. And I'm not even going to lie. A week and a half ago, she looked like shit.
Did you see her Frankenstein line?
I did see her Frankenstein online, and it was not good.
Epic.
It was epic. But let me tell you something. Adrian has run this river and raced this river as much and more than by far most. And when it comes down to it, consistency is the rule. And Adrian has all the lines dialed, and in her sleep, she can run them. That being said, if anybody eddies out, anybody could win. That is no doubt the truth. But coming out, and when I saw her the other day, she had the energy, and if she dials her line, she's going to win. Sage is going to come up, and it is going to take, but I don't think it's this year.
Wow. I'm pushing back on that. Big time.
I hear you.
For a couple of reasons.
I hear you.
Adrian Love Connect will not give up the title without reluctancy. And she's not going to go down without a fight.
That's right.
That's why she's the greatest athlete we've ever seen on the Green River.
That's right.
The reason this race is so incredibly special is because it transcends gender lines. So Dane Jackson will be going first on Saturday, followed by Adrian Love Connect.
So rad.
And that is the way it should be.
I love it.
Frankly, she should probably be going first.
Well, she has gone first.
And she should. But that being said, Sage Donnelly has not lost a race in 2021.
I know, that's huge.
She's won the Norfolk on the Payette in Idaho. She's won the Russell Fork race in Kentucky. And for North America, if she wins the green race, she could accomplish the North American calendar Triple Crown. Youth versus wisdom. What will prevail?
No doubt.
Saturday, we will find out.
Home turf though, I'm giving it to you. All right, and then the last story we're talking about, it's the overall, and we all know that Dane is the guy. So we all know that Dane's the guy, and sure, he could eddy out, and he could surf, and he could flip into some crazy whatever, and lose. However, that's very unlikely.
I mean,
here's my bet. Who is going to come within 10 seconds of Dane? And who's the podium, right? Do you argue? I mean, do you think anybody's going to challenge Dane?
There's one thing that hasn't changed about the green race in 26 years, and it's the racer that makes the fewest mistakes is going to win.
Boom.
So if Dane spins out, misses a move, the door is open.
Right.
Who's going to push through and take that opportunity?
Right.
We have two things that we consider in whitewater extreme kayaking. We have analytics.
Wait, there's analytics.
There's analytics in whitewater kayaking. The numbers don't lie, but then the invisible thing is momentum.
Yeah.
And positivity. Dane has the analytics on his side, and he has the momentum, but he also has the pressure.
No doubt.
And so we have some sleepers coming back into contention.
Do you see why I asked this guy
that
here?
don't have the pressure. So yeah, Shane, it's Dane's race to lose, but
Pressure.
in a game of inches that equal out to seconds, that rank out into podiums, my dark horse is the lone wolf. It's Michael Ferraro.
What?
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely. And your thoughts on Ferraro?
No, Ferraro's fast, and he's just gone through marine training. So whatever, Nick.
What?
Shut up.
The pencil has to fucking go.
Ferraro is super fast, but
We should keep that in the butt.
it will be, by the way. We're going live.
Okay, so Ferraro is super fast.
Super fast, but Dane has been training to kayak, not training to be a marine.
And repetitions on the green, laps on Gorilla, they matter.
Yeah.
Shane and I are sitting at Gorilla on Sunday. I mean, our eyes don't lie.
That's right.
Other
That's
than
right.
Dane, the fastest person, Shane and I looked at each other like, who was that? And it was
Well, I actually knew who
it was probably a lithologic stinger, but it was Ferraro. So
That's right.
it's going to be contested. It's Dane's race to lose. I think that analytics will tell you that the second best time on the green from a person that's actually racing this year, so that excludes Kenny Mutton, is Ferraro.
Kenny Mutton? Where did that name come from?
I believe that's a fact.
No, you're me. You need. We're gonna have to edit that.
Yeah.
It's not Kenny Mutton. You're thinking of.
Who does walk up?
Well,
He did a 410.
it was. Oh my God. We're gonna have to edit this heavily.
That's fine.
Kenny Mutton's the designer at Waka, but shit. We'll edit heavily.
Kenny's.
No, Mike Dawson. Hold on.
Okay, so
you're thinking of Mike Dawson.
Mike Dawson.
Mike Dawson has 410, I think.
Yes.
And there is no doubt that Ferraro can be in that 410 category. But my challenge is there, can he pull within 10 seconds of Dane? And Dane last year threw a 4:02.5.
Yes.
And so that means that he has to be right on that cusp. Who else is in that category that can be right on Dane's ass that could challenge him if he makes a mistake?
I mean, the foundation of this race is respect. You respect the previous podium contenders, and so you got to put Jeff Calhoun up there. He was second at the green race last year. I think that he can clean it up this year from last year, and so I think that
Jeff's been all over this podium for years. He is definitely a contender.
I don't know if he has enough gas in the tank to challenge Dane for first, but if Dane opens the door,
that's right.
It's going to come down to Ferraro, Calhoun, and then of course, the real question is, outside of previous podium contenders, who's going to emerge from the shadows to take advantage of that opportunity? So Shane, who is that person?
I've heard, and I'm not sure I'm going to get the name right. Riley Carroll is a person that is in Norfolk that really was up there high, and He went to Austria and he was at Oats and he did really well. I don't know how he's gonna. I don't know his experience on the green, but he was super high in the standings there.
Yeah, so Riley Carroll's best green time is 4:40.
Right.
If he
But I
has
think-
momentum, then there's certainly something to that. But what I'm driving at here is like, will a KLCG member emerge to challenge the podium, or will it be a junior?
And that's a big story right now. Actually, one of the people that we thought would be a big challenge is Jeremy Nash.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Nash found some rain, went to Cumberland Falls,
Full send.
full send, and what happened?
He's out for this green race.
He's out for this green
Incredibly
race.
disappointing.
Rumor has he had a shoulder injury, and we're not sure about that. But that's a tragedy because he was looking super smooth on the road, on the green. And another one would be Holt, who has placed before,
Absolutely.
and I don't know where he is.
He has the mullet with short bangs, which
Right.
by definition means he's going fast. But you know, this is why athletes train, and this is why we show up on game day
Right.
to compete, because anything can happen.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen. We just know what we've seen. So, kayak session viewers, like, tune in to the green race.
Here we go.
Shane, the website for the race.
The website for the race is greenrace.us, and but we'll be covering it, and we'll come out with some coverage later on the day. I can't wait, man. Green race, number 26, the Fountain of Youth.
Amazing. More drama this year than we've ever had. You know, who's going to win the women's class, Sage or Adrian? Which junior is going to emerge? Who is going to challenge Dane? And can Dane accomplish something that we've never seen accomplished in sport?
Sub 4.
And you're going to have to hang on and tune in to find out.
Sweet. Here we go. Green race number 26.
Full send.
It's going to be good. Fountain of Youth.
That was